It was either late at night or early in the morning, depending on how you look at it. But and I know, and this should be clear to folks, we did not rely on that money to balance the state budget. That money always went to the bottom line for cash flow, which is desperately needed as well.
So this really isn't part of the opt-out offer; it's already in the existing bill, correct?
It is.
We just it in the bullet points?
Because Governor Pawlenty's last offer to us was to use that money to balance the budget, and that was potentially what could bring us to special session, and we did not want that.
What about the 114 that he was offering to take off the table? Health and Human Services cuts. You're keeping those?
Yes.
And what are they? Is there anything in there that you want to avoid cutting?
Well, we'd like to avoid cutting much of that, but these are difficult decisions we have to make, and we don't want to punt into a special session. We have already made those tough calls. We've passed that bill with the cuts, and we're going to stand by our tough decisions.
And is there anything that sticks out in that group of cuts that people care about? I mean, I know someone cares about every piece of it somewhere, but
I would hate to just.
Tell me what's in there.
Well, I just hate to focus on just the 114. I mean, people didn't like the LGA cuts, which are going to have an impact on property taxes. People didn't like the cuts in critical access dental care or the rates to our hospital providers. I mean, they're all bad cuts, but as Democrats, we want to get the job done and balance the budget, and that's what we did.
Did you hand this to the governor?
Yes, we did. And he's going to think about it. I don't want to characterize. Mr. McClung can characterize for him. That's probably better. And he's probably coming out soon. But we're waiting for a counteroffer. He's going to digest this and see what he thinks.
He didn't say half an hour,
He didn't give us a timeline. And this is a joint offer. You know, the Senate's doing their retirement speeches right now, but this was a full joint offer from the House and Senate.
Think this will get it done?
This could get it done. This is, once again, the biggest sticking point we heard from Republicans was this opt-in or opt-out of the MA option. They asked for an opt-in. We're giving them an opt-in. That was their strongest objection to that. That means Governor Pawlenty and the next governor would have full authority whether they opt in or not. And this, once again, to reiterate, would balance the budget, would not require a special session, and we could have done today.
Do you think that he'll go back and move the goalposts and go back to the school, the K-12 on allotment and some of the other shifts again?
We're running out of time, and we've continued to offer idea on idea, solution and solution. At some point here, the governor's going to have to say yes to something, or else he leads us into a special session. We hope this is what he says yes to.
Can you explain in lay terms what the difference is between opt-in and opt-out?
Opt-out means that we would start the application process today. We still think that's the best idea. We have $1.4 billion Minnesota taxpayer dollars in Washington that we want to come back to the state of Minnesota. If we were to have the opt-out option, we would start the process of getting those tax dollars back to Minnesota today. He's rejecting those federal tax dollars coming to the state of Minnesota. The opt-in option gives him that opportunity to leave that money in Washington, leave our tax dollars in Washington. We think it's the wrong thing, but we're willing to make that concession.
And the money to do this, the federal, remains good into next year.
Absolutely.
It doesn't. There's no ending. No rush.
What is he opting in or opting out? I mean, why is it called opt-in?
It's very confusing. Opt in, opt out.
It's their fault. If they would have just agreed to it in the first place, we wouldn't have to do this. It gives the next governor the ability to opt in or not as well. We're going to have a new governor, and we'll have to see at that time if, when they're looking at the financial situation of the state, if they're willing to flush $1.4 billion of our tax dollars down the toilet and not take it to help us with our budget situation.
Why January 15th? Why not March 15th or something?
Well, we want to move on with this issue. I mean, this is the next issue. Next year again is going to be all about the budget, and I think that gives them enough time to figure out where they're at. I'm sure they'll have made their positions clear on that during the campaign as well.
So you'd start hearings well before this, I would assume, sometime right after the election, right?
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, I'm sure it'd be a discussion during the campaign whether they would take the option or not.
Do you seriously know what they're opting in or opting out?
What?
Do you know what they're opting in or opting out? Why is it called
taking advantage of?
Why is one opt-in and one opt-out? I mean, wouldn't you be opting in if you signed up right away and opting out?
It seems reversed.
It seems reversed, but
it's a bit reversed. But the politics have reversed it, right?
Yes, it has. It has.
I still don't understand why.
That's the language they used. We wanted to use their language to make them more comfortable with it. I guess that's the bluntest way I could put it. We want to do it, they don't, so we're giving them an option not to do it. And that's unfortunately called opt-in.
And you've given into their language.
Sure, we'll concede their language as well. Whatever, we just want to get them.
Okay.
I don't care what you call it. I just want to call it getting done on time and going home with a balanced budget. Call it whatever you want.
Thank Thank you, Mr. Leader.
All right. This is the oddest press availability I think I've had upstairs. So this is a new one for us now,
You're
too.
the only time I've ever been
I get
taller.
shot at a different angle.
Yeah, you
You're
really-
taller than me. This
You really need to get up on a higher step.
bizarre world. I'm speaking from the well, literally. So
Where's your PR people?
they left a long time
They
ago.
wouldn't put you down there. They put you up there.
I have no pride in that. I'm okay with where I'm standing. Like I said, I think all of us want to go home. Minnesotans want us to go home, so we're trying to get that done. All right.
Any time for going back in?
They haven't given us. We're waiting by the phone.
And have you decided what to do with your retirement speeches?
I think we'll start around 7 o'clock.
7.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
And the intent is still to stay here right until...
We will stay till